All right, so in this explainer, we're diving into the worldview of spiritual teacher Gong. His philosophy draws this incredible, direct line from your own personal effort all the way to cosmic justice and even to the fate of an entire nation. It's a really fascinating framework, so let's get right into it. At the very heart of this teaching is a pretty simple but powerful idea. The universe, according to Chen Kong, isn't just random chaos. Nope, it's a system of perfect cause and effect, and your personal effort is the most important variable. This one thought, it's the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about. So, we've broken down his lecture into 5 key areas. We'll start with that core idea of effort and what comes of it. Then we'll get into something called a divine judgment month, a major turning point he predicts for the world, a pretty radical philosophy on gratitude, and we'll finish up with a look at his vision for Korea's future. Okay, so let's start with the fundamental law of this whole worldview. It's the idea that every single action, or lack of action, has a direct and totally unavoidable consequence. The speaker presents what's basically a cosmic balance sheet. If you strive and really put in the effort, you get gifts. And he doesn't just mean material things, but opportunities and personal growth. But for slackers, well, the universe delivers a correction. It could be a flick on the head for minor laziness, or a switch for something more serious. It's a system of direct, immediate feedback. So if this cosmic system is always in motion, is there like a specific time for an annual review? According to the speaker, yeah, there is, and he calls it Yeongdong-dal. Now, the speaker really emphasizes that Yeongdong-dal isn't something to be afraid of. It's framed more like a time of divine administration, sort of like an annual performance review where celestial beings check in on humanity's progress and make adjustments where they're needed. That's a fair question, right? I mean, if divine beings are coming down to inspect humanity, what does that actually look like? What are they doing? The process is laid out in 4 steps. First, they just observe how you're living your life. And from there, these divine beings might step in to cut negative relationships, help you resolve some long-standing problems, and then, ultimately, grant you new beneficial connections. It's like a cosmic rebalancing, and it's all based on your own personal effort. Okay, now the teaching kind of shifts gears. It moves from these big cosmic principles to a very specific, time-sensitive prediction for the whole world. The speaker is super clear here, singling out the month of July in the current year as a period of just immense importance. He predicts that after a period of, global chaos, July is going to be this critical turning point. After that, he says world events are expected to start to stabilize and find a new kind of equilibrium. Now we get to one of the most challenging ideas in the whole lecture, a philosophy on how we should respond to hardship, even to personal attacks. The speaker puts this question right out there to his audience, and it's a deliberately provocative scenario, right? His answer is designed to completely challenge our usual reactions, like anger or feeling like a victim. The answer he proposes is radical self-reflection. Instead of blaming the person who hit you, you're urged to look inward. The event is completely reframed, not as an injustice, but as a cosmic message, basically a wake-up call, delivering a lesson you need to learn. And to push this principle to its absolute limit, the speaker uses this really startling and, frankly, highly controversial example. He argues that finding gratitude, even in a horrible situation like domestic violence, is the key to unlocking wisdom. The teaching suggests that complaining only attracts more problems. But gratitude, no matter how unimaginable it might seem, is what opens the door to understanding and actually prevents more hardship down the road. It's a concept that challenges conventional thinking right to its core. And finally, the lecture zooms out, moving from personal responsibility to the collective destiny of the Korean peninsula. For anyone feeling impatient about Korean unification, the speaker offers some reassurance. He frames it as an absolute certainty. He explains that the delay we're seeing right now isn't a failure, but it's a necessary pause until the right conditions in society are finally met. So, what's the actual path forward? The speaker points to 3 books that have been completed, detailing the necessary reforms in politics, labor, and religion. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're presented as practical guides that people should study and share to lay the groundwork for the nation's future. So after breaking down this whole framework of effort, reward, and prophecy, we're kind of left with this question. If the universe really operates on such precise laws,
what does that actually mean for our individual choices day to day? It's a fascinating perspective that puts the weight of both our personal and our collective destiny squarely on our own shoulders.